All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to day three of the grief relief, everybody. We are almost at the end of our series. Nate, we are almost at the end of this series, everyone. So we've been talking about some great topics these past couple of days. I came on a little later this morning, I should say. Needed to get some rest before I came on here because we do have Bible study for Ladies United Ministry tonight at 7:30. Self care and listening to your body is so important these days, everybody. So, I have a few topics today. The first question says, what comes to mind when you remember and reflect? And where do you stand? Nate! What comes to mind when you remember and reflect? Where do you stand with your emotions and feelings? Where is your happiness? Where do you want to begin pushing forward? And how do you cope with your feelings and emotions? So, we're going to go down the line. And of course, I'm going to put myself in the category. I'm trying to be roughly done by 11 o'clock today. So I'm going to kind of go through the questions little quickly today, but I'll be able to, give you a word of encouragement to help you through. So for myself, what comes to mind, you remember, reflect. What comes to mind is spending that quality time, those engaging conversations, talking about just life itself and basically expressing viewpoints of things that I may feel. It may be job related, family, or just how can I deal with my own issues without getting angry or frustrated. And reflecting on those conversations helped me to have a better understanding of what that looks like, ladies and gentlemen. And remembering the quality time and what I've learned and what was shared unto me in that time frame, it brings me a lot of clarity and it brings me a lot of closure because I still apply those to my life. And remembering and cherishing, I can know a few times I cracked a smile because the conversations we did have, it hit home. And I can remember one particular day, me and my mom, and then my dad was going out. My mom, she was sick at the time. And when she looked at me, she gave me that look. She said, I love you. And that hit my heart so deep because I knew it was genuine. And the thing about it is, ladies and gentlemen, I go back and reflect these things because it matters so much to me. I know I can go back and think about times when we conversate of things and share things that were very dear and important to each other. And those reflection has brought me to who I am today. When she said she loved me, that hit home because that was genuine. That was genuine love. That was real love. Okay. We spent a lot of time together when she was working. She always had me on her right hand. She made wherever she went, I went. That's just how it went for a long time until I became a teenager. The love that she shared, it still resonates in me to this very day. The conversations we have were absolutely phenomenal. I remember a time when I was sick, and I just went on at the mouth about what I was feeling. She just listened. And when I tell you, she listened, no judgment, just listen, just like a mother listens, right? And that's what she did. She just listened. She just shook her head, smiled, and just had that gracious spirit about her. You know, a lot of times, everyone, when you go back and remember and reflect those conversations or those moments that you share, you think about the good times because that was your happy place. On yesterday, we talked about the difference about being the old version of you versus being the new version of you, who you are as a person now. And the new version of you has a lot of decisions to make, a lot of processing to do, and also learning how to be familiar of different things that are completely different now in their life. Things have changed, and you have changed. You can tell by when you open your mouth or when you're exposed to different things that certain things don't really resonate with you anymore. And I do a lot of thinking, everybody, about just life itself. And when I tell you, I see the growth. I counsel people all the time and minister to people who reach out to me about things they may be dealing with and facing with. I'm always connected to those who are older women specifically because they gravitate towards me because of the kind of spirit I have. And a lot of them just need encouragement. And they need encouragement because they need to feel that light and see that light in their life. You know, a lot of times when you feel around with darkness, that's all you see is darkness, right? That's all you feel is darkness. You feel angry, you feel frustrated, you feel confused, you feel conflicted. And what I notice about when you walk towards the light, some things start shedding off of you. So those layers of them dark places or those dark areas of your life start really shedding down because you're walking towards the light and away from darkness. This is you heading this direction, and darkness is behind you. And as you continue to walk down that light, ladies and gentlemen, you start really starting to see this is the new me. Get to know me, learn how to love me, learn how to appreciate who I am now. I can no longer go back to who I used to be because that doesn't take precedence anymore. Now you who you are and understanding who you are right now is going to help you, and it has helped me. I've met so many people over the years and talked to so many people, been in a lot of different group pages, been a lot of calls, met people in person, and I've interacted with so many people and connected with so many people over the years. And I tell you, it's an eye opener to really experience that at hand. But I understand that when you change for the better. And you changing for the better helps you to become so much more. See, you're putting expectations of yourself, ladies and gentlemen, that you are expecting yourself to be a better version. And what that means is you want to see things go in a different direction in which they are at hand. So you really start researching or self discovering and reflecting. So I just encourage you here, everyone. The first question, remember and reflect. What those two words mean to you? I've given you a broad description of how that means to me. Remember brings me happy moments. Reflecting brings me joy. That's what those two words mean to me. So, what does remembering and reflection mean to you? The next question, where do you stand with your emotion and feelings? Like we talked about on yesterday, your emotions go highs and lows. For me, I have my highs and lows. I have my good days. I have my bad days. Today, I'm pretty good, praise God. I'm just filled of gratitude. And the thing about it is, when you can't change things, you have to learn how to cope. And coping is probably the most struggleless, the most hard thing for us as humans to really dive, dissect and really deal with at hand because we focus so much on the bad things more or less than the good things. So when you focus on the good things, everyone, you start to really say, okay, I need to focus in on my emotions. What am I feeling right now? Why do I feel like this? Is my feelings valid? Are things going to work out for me? Are things going to be where they need to be? Now, as we look at emotions, you have emotions that are different every day. Again, mine goes up and down. Yesterday was I had a couple of bad days this past week. I'm not going to sit here and play with you. It has nothing to do with grief. It's just overall dealing with me. All right. Your mental health has a lot to do with it and how you handle yourself. Are you taking care of yourself? Are you eating a hearty meal? Are you balancing out the stresses of life? Stress can be very triggering and very overwhelming, everyone. And I tell you, when you begin to really identify these things, you start to say, what is my emotion today and what am I feeling? So these two questions here that I shared with you all, giving you a little bit of insight about your emotions and what does your emotions feel like and how are you feeling? Are you feeling good today? Are you okay? Are you great? Are you unsure? You can be? Are you meek? Whatever that is that you may feel, you feel that because that's what you feel. The next one, where's your happiness? Happiness comes within. And many of us try to find happiness in all the materialistic things. See, happiness starts with you. Really start searching deep within yourself. And I want to share with you a little bit before I get to the next two questions. It starts with you doing a self evaluation on yourself. And what that really looks like, ladies and gentlemen, is really pinpointing those key points about yourself that you find very appealing. For number one, for myself, what brings happiness to me? I love going to the park at times, but lately it's been too hot. I enjoy the beach. Again, it's been too hot. I love listening to music. I love watching my favorite TV shows. I love watching cooking shows. I love going to museums. I love nature. I love just enjoying the finer things in life. And I'm not talking about the extravagant things where you got to spend thousands of dollars. I'm talking about things that are very simple and compelling. I love going to social events where people having concerts and out there connecting. I like going to those things because that's my happiness. And it's not about materialistic. That's what I enjoy doing. See, I said I, not everybody else. That's what I enjoy doing. Even going to car shows, looking at cars. I'm strange like that, but that's just who I am. Car shows, I like looking at cars. I like going to museums. I like going to social events. They have events in the community. I enjoy those things because I enjoy being around that. Meet new people, enjoying my happiness. That's what it's about. I always take my kids with me when they want to go. Movie theaters, I enjoy that at times if it's a decent movie to watch. But lately, the movies have been hitting. It's what it is. Going to my favorite restaurant. There's a couple of them I can name. What is it that brings you happiness is what matters. I like watching poetries. I like listening to poetry. I like to go to poetry now. I like comedy clubs. I like all those great things. You're like, why are you sharing this with us? Because in order for you to find where your happiness is, you have to search within. I'm sharing this with you all because that's my happiness. Am I happy? Yes, of course. Going to the mall, every now and then. That used to be my happy place when I was younger, but I done got older now. So hanging at the mall is not hanging like it used to be. That part. But the question is at hand. Where is your happiness? And what does that look like for you? Everybody happiness look different. It doesn't have to look like mine. Doesn't even have to measure up to mine. You have to find out what makes you happy. The thing about being a part of On Time Ministry, we are here to fellowship, connect, and grow with each other. But I want you to understand that each and every last one of you will have individual journeys and walks that you have to focus on within yourself. And that's what I teach everybody who is following On Time Ministry, that you are a person. You matter. Your feelings matter. Your feelings are valid. Your emotions are valid. What you feel is what you feel. I just want to address that because many different platforms have different rules. Your feelings matter. What you feel is what you feel. And I want you to be able to stand on your own 2 feet and say, Pastor Jay taught me about being my own man or my own woman, learning how to apply happiness in my life. And how do I do that? Going deep within. And how do you do that? By searching deep. What are the things that you enjoy in life? With a smile on your face? Who cares if people find it corny or not appealing? As long as it makes you happy, that's all that matters. If you like sewing, knitting, painting, going on exotic trips, whatever it is that makes you happy, do it for you. What makes you happy is so important. Your true happiness is what matters at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what the man on the moon says. It's what you are putting in your spirit. And that's focusing on your well-being. Number 4, where do you want to begin pushing forward? For myself, I'm continuing to work on closure and happiness and a lot more self care. As you see, we usually come on at 10. I got in the bed and lay down. because that's something very, very important for myself to do. You can't be always ripping and running all the time and not taking care of your well being. That's so, so very important. For each and every last one of you all, pushing forward is really trying to figure out which direction that you should go. What direction you should go is a opportunity for you to really take a step back and really ask yourself these questions. What can I do to improve in this area of my life? What can I do to be more familiar of this new version of me? And how can I help myself be more productive every day? Journaling and writing letters are very therapeutical. Taking a walk on the beach, taking a walk, listening to podcasts, listening to worship music, praying to God, that helps with your mental health more than you even realize. I'm telling you, because it's going to bring you so much clarity in your life. When you focus in on the things that really matter to you, everyone, you start to really focus on yourself because you know what you want out of life. And while you're going through the grief relief, you're starting to discover things about yourself you didn't even realize exist because you're getting to know you in a different stage in your life. Many people fear of this, but the reality of it, you never know how strong and powerful you can be once you take that layer off of your back. Take that fear and that anxiety off your back and realize how powerful you really are. And how powerful you really are reflects of how you can carry yourself through anything that goes on in your life. See, when you lose someone so dear, they shared something with you that they knew. They knew the secret to life. Live happy, live long, live prosperous, be genuine and kind to people, love people as you will love yourself, and learn how to appreciate those things. Many will bend the different because society will make you feel that way. But if you apply those teachings and those principles in your life and continue to believe that affirmingly, it doesn't matter what people say. Continue to be you. Continue to be unique. People call you weird, people call you crazy, so what? People call me that all the time. I always say, and so I love me. There was a time I used to get offended by that. Why would I be offended now? I'm 40 years old. Your opinion about me is irrelevant. Why would I continue to worry about how you feel about me when there's millions of things in the world for me to do? You can't focus your energy on what people think about you all the time because people always have an opinion. But the opinion is how do you view yourself after going through this process? The opinion is how are you going to push forward by being in your own state of mind. And what I mean is being in your own state of mind is really focusing on the things that really are important to you. You have things that you're in your life right now that are not important to you. Don't waste your time trying to figure it out. Let it go, push forward, and see what the other side has for you. The last question is how do you cope with your feelings and emotion? And again, it ties into question two. How do I cope with it? I talk. At times, I keep quiet. At times, I find music to be very therapeutical. Music speaks when I don't have any words to say. Many of you may use music as a way of form of speaking. Let the song speak for itself. I have times that I've done that, and that was last week, that the song really spoke to my soul. Some of you may have a favorite movie or maybe have a favorite place that you like to go to just enjoy a one-on-one time, right? That's your place. That's what you like to deal with your emotions and your feelings. Some may like going to the gym. Some may like running. Some may like walking. Some may like going to the beach. Some may like going fishing. Some may like riding bikes. Some may like riding motorcycles, dirt bikes. Some might like taking hikes and trails. Some may like going out to eat. Some may like going shopping. Thank you, Spirit. Healthy shopping is healthy shopping, and I want to touch on this. When you're grieving, you have a tendency to kind of spend money that you don't have. And what I mean is not to offend anybody. When you're grieving, you're trying to fill that void And what I found out about healthy spending while grieving is doing something that is beneficial to you. And what that is, getting things that are important to you when you're spending money. Like if you want to try a new hobby, invest in that hobby. If you want to go invest in some new tennis shoes or a nice outfit, do that. That's called self care. Okay. Spending money healthy way, you will see the return greatly because you're benefiting from that. You're like, oh, some of y'all gonna feel some type of way. I'm not saying it to offend you, but I'm saying it's a healthy way to spend money and doing it that really shows your personality and your character. Like, for example, you want to buy a pair of shoes, or you want to buy a purse, or you want to get your nails done or your hair done. That's healthy spending. How? Because you're taking care of your well being. Okay. You want to go buy yourself a meal, you want to take yourself out for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or even just an evening snack. That's healthy spending because you know what you need. Know the difference between your needs and your wants. And your needs are your essential that you need, and your wants are the things that you want. And I've seen this. When you're buying things replenishly and you're spending money that you don't have, you're cluttering some things. It's like a coping mechanism. I'm buying this dress and it's been sitting in the closet for 6 months. I'm buying these shoes and it's been sitting in the closet for 7 months. I'm buying this house, but you really don't want the house. You're just feeling that void. I'm getting this car knowing you can't make the payments. Being healthy and spending is so very beneficial. Like, Pastor Jake, who do you think you are telling how to use my money? No, I am telling you to use healthy spending as a mechanism in your life. That's all I'm saying. So don't get on this live getting all teed off about it. Healthy. HEALTHY. Spending. SPENDING. That's all I'm saying. What's the difference between unhealthy spending and healthy spending? Unhealthy spending is buying things out of impulse. Healthy spending is buying things that you need. That's the difference between the two. Like, how do you know what that looked like? Because I was doing unhealthy spending. So I know from experience. So I had to stop that. I was buying stuff that wasn't important. I had to learn how to stop that because it wasn't good. I was feeding into my emotions versus feeding into what was important to me. So, ladies and gentlemen, how do you cope with your feelings and emotions? How do you distinguish between unhealthy spending and spending? Unhealthy spending and healthy spending by understanding, do I really need that? Yes or no? That's the question. You can walk a department store, you can walk around an outlet, or you can go somewhere and see things. But you see it sitting in that closet or sitting in that corner for a very short period of time or even longer. You ask yourself, why in the world did I buy that? Because you were unhealthy spending. You were feeling that emptiness because you were hurting at the time and you felt at the time that you needed. I'm guilty of it, so I know what I'm talking about, y'all. Okay? You decided, oh, okay, I want to take this trip. And when you get there, you wasn't fully excited. Why? Because you did it out of impulse. That's called unhealthy spending. You decided to want to get a car, but the payments are extreme. And again, you're starting to say, okay, what does that look like for me? Unhealthy spending because you were thinking out of impulse. I'm trying to help somebody here today to kind of trying to get you to understand how to break that cycle on healthy spending versus healthy spending when it comes to grief. Because your mind doesn't be thinking, you're just spending, 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 spending. And before you know it, you're like, oh my goodness, what did I do? You were just trying to fill that emptiness. When you know you have that, you have to stop dead at your tracks and say, I refuse to allow this to harm me. I refuse to allow this to consume me. Some have unhealthy spending when it comes to doing other curricular activities. Thinking and reaction has a different mindset. When you think about it, you're like, I don't think I want to do that. Use Proverbs as a primary example, congregation, in making wise choices and decisions. But listen, Pastor, you don't understand. I understand the difference between unhealthy spending and healthy spending. Oh, I understand that truly. I understand spending out of impulse just to fill that void. Oh, I get it. I'm guilty of it. I can admit to it. And there's stuff I had to get rid of because I didn't have, I was like, what was I thinking getting that? It didn't make no sense because I didn't need it. So I choose wisely the things that I spend now. Like going out to eat. I choose to eat at home. Why? Because that's a wise choice. Make what I gotta keep it moving. Could I get that big old salad that costs $15? Or I can make me a home salad that costs less than that because I already purchased it. Right? So however you deal with your feelings and emotions, everybody, that's something to really consider in your life. And how does that benefit you? By really you taking that time to really say, I refuse to continue that cycle. I refuse to continue to allow what has been going on with me to afflict me. And when I tell you, when you start to really sit back and realize this is what I need for myself, this is how it's going to help me, this is going to make me become so much more productive. So, today, ladies and gentlemen, as we close, we only have just a few more minutes. When you start looking at these characteristics here at hand and start really like, oh man, I never really thought about it like that, Pastor J. No, but I was just breaking it in components for kind of just give you a visual like, are you really doing this to yourself? Yeah. A lot of times we don't like to really share these things or bring it up because it's a very sensitive factor that we deal with all from time and time again. And we begin to really realize that we have to really work on ourselves with that factor because we are in a place where we don't want to deal with it or face it. And we begin to really say, I want to be a better version of me. I want to start thinking better and being healthy, eating healthy, living right. It's a process, everybody. And the honesty, truth about it, everybody, is that when you start to really bring these subjects out to light, you have a different perspective of what you want out of life because you want something more from yourself. And you want to be happy. You want to be vibrant. You want to feel things that brings excitement to your spirit. And the thing about it is, once you find that, you'll be heading in the right direction, everybody. So today, I want to just kind of just give you an overall picture of today's segment. That whatever you are going through during your grief, have permission to let yourself be. Don't force yourself. Don't have expectations. Don't feel like you have to amount to everybody and anything somebody's sharing to you. Begin to really understand that you are on a journey. You are on a walk. You are on a path that's going to help you navigate this thing called the grief relief. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we close today, I would love for you to take time today and think about the three things that I talked about. What are your takeaways from the last 3 days? You can comment in the section below. You can inbox me. But this is just to help everybody to get a clear understanding of what they really are sharing at hand. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting ready to close this segment. I'm just waiting for the clock to run out. I said 30 minutes, and I meant what I said. So, if you have any questions or concerns regarding grief relief, you can reach me at my office hours 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, Saturdays and Sundays 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I pray you all have a blessed and a phenomenal day. Ladies, I'll see you this afternoon, or not this afternoon, this evening at 7:30 p.m. For our Bible study is entitled Honesty. The subject matter we'll be talking about is Abigail in the Bible, ladies. All right. I love each and every last one of you all, and I'll see you all later on. Be blessed, be empowered, be lifted, and take care.